Alright, welcome back. Here we go again. How to. Notice anything different or odd about this swim bait setup? Maybe it looks more normal that way, but the tail's the wrong way. There, now the tail's the right way, but what's that hook doing down there? You ever seen a jig head look like that? No. Let me show you how I do it. Alright, so anybody that's been watching this channel for a period of time knows that I test a lot of stuff, right? You've seen the double belly hook swim bait. Well, this is the single hook swim bait, but yeah, this isn't a standard jig head. You know, when I catch fish or when I watch fish footage underwater, these fish are coming from the bottom or from the back, and they're, you know, it just makes more sense to have the hook on the bottom if you know how to fish it and not snag or whatever and use it as a regular swim bait, right? But if that hook is this far back on a regular jig head, it's going to do this. It's not going to have much motion. But if you have it the way I built it, has a ton of motion even with this hook back here. Let me show you now how I do it. It's pretty simple, pretty awesome, works great. Okay, so you see this right here? This is a 1/2 ounce bullet weight. So it starts like this. You could either buy them from the store, or I get my molds from Barlow's. This one in particular, here's the 1/2 ounce. It's a worm rig sinker, assorted sizes. Again, all the way from, what is this, 3/32 all the way up to 3/8 size, or 5/8 size, sorry. So if you want to pour your own and make your own like I do, you have this Lee melting pot. Here's all the hooks. Let me show you what it actually is. Let me pull this off here. Alright. So I've got my weight, right? Got this guy. Got a wire. You know what, let me just show you. Let me just show you how I build this. I've done it in a previous video, so I might as well do it now since it's a new video. So I don't use wire benders or anything, whatever. So I'm just going to take this wire, I'm going to bend it all the way around. This is going to be my eye, so I'm going to put this at a 90. A little bit more, about right there. See that? See how that's at a 90? Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my vise right here, wrap this wire around a couple times, and then be right back. Alright, so there's one eye. This will be for the bottom, or the part that connects to the split ring. Now I'm going to take that, run it through the bottom of this. I'm going to do the same thing, make another one up here. And I'll make this and be right back. Alright, that one's all done. And by the way, the wire, and I'll leave all these materials in the description below so you can browse and get as you please. But this is just simply the AFW toothproof leader wire, 140 pound or number 11 wire, and I just bend it in. So that makes basically my quote-unquote jig head. So then what I do, just attach a split ring, so that's a 22 pound split ring, and the hooks are just simple straight shank hooks, mustache straight shank hooks from Barlow's. So I got this, these are all the 32608 NP. So this is size 2.0 in regular nickel. This is a 3.0. This is the black nickel in 2.0 and 3.0. And again, these are the just straight shank. So you look at this and you could almost say this is like what those swinging heads are. Or basically a Texas rig without having the weight sliding up and down the line. You can make this weedless. I personally dislike weedless. I don't fish in areas where there's enough weeds to make it worthwhile, and I get less hookups with weedless. But all in all, what you can do is with this setup, you can have the hook come out the belly, you can have it come up the top, you can put it as far back or as far forward on the swim bait as you want. So this one again, I hooked you could see I have the split ring hooked to the eye of the straight shank hook, as well as the rear wire of this sinker, and you just thread that hook down as far as you want, or as go as far as you want, or as up as you want, doesn't matter. But you want to have this hook pulled down to where the shank, this eye of the shank, is pulled in probably about 1/8 or 1/4, maybe 1/8 of an inch. That way you can pull all the way up to the weight and basically make it a jig head. So there's no swinging head on it. It's not moving all over the place. It's basically a Texas rig with, or a regular jig head, but with a really long hook that you don't have to use a mold or anything to make your jig head. So yeah, again, awesome. I pour my own. Like I said, you can buy them off of Amazon. You can buy bullet sinkers anywhere, any tackle shop or whatever. But I'll leave the link down below for them. The Lee melting pot, this for different sizes of sinkers, and then the 4 different hook, 2.0 and 3.0 in both the regular nickel and black nickel. But yeah, straight shank jig head in the belly or on the top, however you want. But yeah, let's take a look at my first catch right now on this. This was a couple days ago, and yeah, I think you'll be surprised if you do it. I guarantee it'll get bit. You. There's one. There we go. There it is. There we go. That's a butt. That's a butt. A little wild. On the wild side. There it is. Single belly hooked. My little contraption there. 23 on the stringer. Dinner. Actually, I'm giving it away to another angler who hasn't ever caught a keeper before. So, nice little gesture today. Get home after surfing and fishing. Phew. All right, that's it for today. Laters. There's one. There it is. The butt. There's a little butt. bumped it on the single. Alright. Alright. Little guy. Little guy. The belly hook. Perfect. Little guy.